Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? Hope you are all fine and having a good time with your family. Now it's your study time and come back to your study. I am here with the new topic of grammar, which is future continuous tense. Future continuous tense is a basic name and we have done before. It's a previous part, present continuous tense, past continuous tense, and now we will discuss about the future continuous tense. Another name of the future continuous tense is the progressive tense. We can call with the another name progressive tense. But if we compare the future continuous to the simple future tense, then what's the difference between it? We will learn about it in a very detailed form. Okay, if we talk about the simple future, then what's the difference with the simple future or the future continuous? Because the continuous means simple future, which means something we will do in an upcoming time, then we can call the future continuous tense. But if we talk about the future continuous, then what's the difference? Is the difference something is happening. Something is happening in upcoming time, but in the simple future, something we will do in upcoming time, in tomorrow time, after yesterday, after a day, but in the future continuous, because the continuous means something is happening right now, something is still happening, something is going on. Then this is the basic difference between the simple or the simple future continuous. If we talk about the helping verb of both these tenses, then the helping verb of the simple future is the will or shall. But if we talk about the helping verb of the future continuous tense, but little bit difference, not much more, because the future, the helping verb of the future remains same, will or shall. But we will do only changings with the use of the continuous, that will be added only the be. The future continuous helping verb will be or shall be. This is the little bit difference, but if we will not add the be with the will, then we can say that we are discussing about the simple future tense. But if we add the will be with the will, then which means that we are dealing a future continuous tense. A little bit word can change your tense completely. So make sure that you have to concentrate and easily differentiate both these tenses, simple future or the future continuous. This is the major difference. Okay, let's talk about, as you know in the very previous lecture, because we have done so many topics of the grammar and I already discussed in a very detailed form that for the each tense we have the three categories, in which add simple, then we can say that the affirmative, positive, second one is a negative, third one is the interrogative. In the same pattern will be remain same because the types never be changed. So we will discuss one by one, step by step, because if we will not concentrate step by step, then we cannot be understand it very easily and very correctly. So here I am going to discuss about the affirmative sentence, which one you can say that this one is a positive, this one is a simple. And we are not going to discuss about the negative, we are not going to discuss about the interrogative, because these are the two separate types and the separate parts. We will discuss, but step by step. Here I am going to present the identification, recognition, formation, helping verb of the affirmative. So affirmative, which means basics, which means a simple or present. How can we recognize that we are dealing with the future continuous tense? What is the difference? We have any hint? We have any solid material? Yes, we have hint, we have a hint in the form of the helping verb, because helping verb and the recognition, these are the two basic parts and the two basic points that we can easily recognize. If we focused on the helping verb, we focused on the recognition, then we can easily make our sentence in a very correct form and according to the correct pattern. So if we talk about the affirmative, then the first thing that you have to concentrate about the recognition and the identification. What is the meaning of the, I already discussed so many times what is the meaning of the identification and the recognition. Because as you know that in the exams, the statement will be appear in the form of the Urdu. Then we talk about, firstly we have to focus on the Urdu recognition. If we talk about the identification, which means how can we recognize, how can we know that we have to complete it while using these tense and these helping verb. So in this simple future, if we talk about the simple future, then the recognition ga, gi, ge. But if we talk about the continuous, as I discussed, that continuous, which means that something is happening, still going on, still happening, which means the identification raha, hoga, rahi, hogi, rahe, honge. These are the identification of the future continuous tense. Ga, which means that future, raha, which means in continuous. Then if we compile these two types of helping verb, then the identification will be appear in the form of the future continuous tense. Second thing is that the helping verb, because without the use of the helping verb, we can complete our sentence and we can't know and complete and show that we are doing such type of tense. So helping verb we will use, if we talk about the simple helping verb, then in the simple future, we will use the helping verb will or shall. But we are not talking about the simple future, we are talking about the future continuous. Then we will be add only for the future will be, shall be. When we discussed about the future, then I told you one thing, that the shall is not necessary to add with these all type of subjective words. If you want to add the will, then you can do. It's totally up to you. In a very polite manner, in a questioning statement, then it's a compulsory to add the shall. But according to the grammar rule, grammatically, we have to use will with the subjective word he, she, it, and the plural and the singular. And if we talk about the shall, then we will use only shall with the I and the we. These are the according to the grammar, because while handling the any sentence, any statement, we have to focus the grammar. Then will be, we have to use with the he, she, it, plural, plural name, plural things, singular, singular name, singular things. Just for example, I have a board marker in my hand, but this one is only a one board marker, which means is a singular thing, not a plural one. But if we talk about that in this room, we are here, we is a plural, but not a plural name. We representing the more than peoples at a time doing a work. So we can say that this one is a plural, but the we will add the shall. This one is a helping verb. The next thing is the form of the verb. Which form of the verb we have to use? We have to use the form of the verb first, but with the use of ing. Why? Why? Why we have to use? Is it not enough to add the first form? Is it compulsory to add the ing? Yes, because we are handling, we are discussing about the continuous, and for the continuous, it's a compulsory to add the ing. Ing is a present participle, which is showing that we are doing something, still happening something, and continuous thing. So it is necessary to put the ing. Then the last point is that the formation, which means the making of any sentence. Formation, how can we form a tense while using these criteria, these pattern and these helping verbs? The formation, which one is a very focused thing, that is your responsibility being a student to focus how can we make a sentence in a proper way. So first thing is to just for example, I am here writing a very random example. वो खेल रहा होगा. This one is a sentence. Firstly, the main thing is a structure. Structure in which add subject, verb plus object. This one is a main structure, but we can mold it according to our tense. For example, we are doing a future continuous tense. Firstly add subject, then put the helping verb, then put the original verb, then add the helping verb plus ing, then add the object. By following this pattern, we can easily make our sentence. How? Just for example, find out where is the subject, who is performing an action, because subject is basically performing an action. Subject, wo, he. Then put the helping verb after the recognition raha hoga, which means we are doing a continuous. The Urdu statement is clearly showing off that this one is a continuous, future continuous. Then put the helping verb he is a singular, then put the he will be. Then original verb you can add the action verb with the ing. So here he will be, original verb is a play is a first form, then put the ing for the continuous, he will be playing, then put the full stop. This one is the formation and the making of the future continuous tense. Now the second part of the tense, future continuous tense, which is the negative. Negative, the first thing is just to recognize while we are doing a negative, while we are doing the simple present, positive, affirmative or the interrogative. And for all these types, we have a hint, we have a recognition sign, symbols. Negative, which means that in the Urdu statement, if you will find the nahi in the Urdu statement, then you can easily guess that this one is a negative statement and you will not deal it according to the interrogative, according to the affirmative. So the criteria of method and the pattern of dealing the negative statement is not little but different. Almost the same helping verb we will use, the identification remains same but with the use of the nahi. Just for example, if we talk about, just for example, I have a very random example that wo गाना नहीं गा रही होगी. This one is a statement. First thing is just, as you know, I already discussed that the identification. Identification rahi hogi. Which one is tense? This tense, this one is the recognition and identification of the future continuous tense. But if we focus on the complete statement that nahi is not matching with the affirmative. Nahi, which means that not, nothing, no. We have to solve it according to the negative criteria and the pattern. So the helping verb remains same, the identification raha hoga remains same, but with the addition of the nahi, with the addition of the not. In the solving, in the structure, we just add the not. Structure remains same. Just for example, in the simple, we discussed subject plus helping verb plus original verb plus object. Where is the difference in the negative? Subject plus helping verb, original verb and the object. Here we just add the not very after of the helping verb, which means that putting the not very after the helping verb, we can easily make our sentence a negative statement. How? Just like the formation, how we can form. How is a sentence making formation? Firstly, recognize where is the subject. Here this statement is showing off, is clearly showing off that this one is a singular thing. Wo. Just for example, wo is a subject because the action performer is a wo. Then we are talking about in the statement about a girl, then we will put she. Now put the helping verb, she will. Will be helping verb? Yes, but if we will add the will be, where's the not? How can we make a negative? So here just to put very after the not, she will not. Then put the be after the not to make a negative statement, she will not be. Then put the first form with the ing, present participle, singing a song. At the end put the object. Where's the difference? In the first example, I will write, I wrote he will be playing. He will be playing, a very simple statement. But if we want to add a not, then the criteria to put a not, she will, not to write here a complete helping verb. Firstly write a will, then in the middle of the will or be, just to put the not for the negative. She will not, then the be after the not, she will not be, then put the first form with the ing, singing or song. This one is a criteria of the negative. Interrogative, which one is the last part of the future continuous tense. We discussed about affirmative, we discussed about negative, we are gonna discuss about the interrogative, which one are last part. The same, the rules remain same, the identification remains same, the helping verb as well remains same, but the little bit difference is that just to know about whether it is a affirmative, whether it is a negative, whether it is a interrogative one. So basic question is that how can we recognize that this one is an interrogative? The very basic identification or the recognition of the interrogative is the helping verb. But I also told so many times that just for example in the paper for the students is a very important thing. In the paper, just for example, if a statement appear but without the question mark, but the subjective words relate to the interrogative one, how can we guess? Only you can guess that question mark only relate, this one is the interrogative, without the question mark is this not remain an interrogative one, and you will not write it according to the pattern of the interrogative. This one is a wrong conception. Just for example, by mistake, just the print mistake, there is no question mark, but the another alternative is that if we will find the interrogative words like WH family, why, where, who, whose, and so on, and the second type, the helping verb words that comes at the beginning of your statement is am, are, has, have, and the so on. These are the two recognition as well. These are the alternative of the interrogative. Just for example, by the misconception, there is no question mark at the end of your statement, but if you have these types of the words in your statement at the beginning of your statement, then which means that you have to deal it, you have to solve it according to the interrogative pattern. So just for I am going to write an example. क्या वो गाना गा रही होगी? Then put the question mark at the end of your statement. The first thing that for the क्या, we will not use the what because the very basic. So criteria pattern remains same, but the little bit difference is that we have to write the helping verb at the beginning of our statement. Simple is that. Just for example, here we will use the will because this statement is about a girl, a singular. So firstly write will, then put the helping verb. Then very after the subject you have to put the be because at the start it's wrong to write a will be together at the beginning of your statement. So will she be? Now put the original verb sing with the formal verb ing, singing a song. Some student concept that there is no helping verb, there is no need to put the helping verb at the end of your statement in the solving statement. It is a totally wrong concept. without to add a question mark even in the solving statement is not presenting, is not showing that you are doing a interrogative one. To show that you have to deal an interrogative statement, it's a necessary to put the question mark even in the solving statement. So firstly you will write the will as a helping verb, but the helping verb will be. It's not correct way to write a will be together at the beginning of your statement, just to write a will very first and then put the middle of the will or be the subject, which is a she, will she be, then to put the original verb singing a song. Just for example, I will write वो गाना क्यों गा रही होगी, because the identification remains same, रहा होगा रही होगी. Here's the why, the क्यों और क्या, these are the same category, but for the क्या we will not use the what, but for the क्यों we have to put the help write one word, which one is a why. But the criteria to put the why is a little bit different, because just to highlight the क्यों क्या कैसे, these words at the beginning and the before the helping verb will. Just for example, put here why very beginning at the start, then to put the will after the why, just to write here the subject she, then to put the be after the subject, and subject will become between and before the be. Why will she be, then put the original verb with the present participle and the continuous helping verb ing, singing a song, and put the question mark at the end of your statement. This one is a necessary one. These are the criteria and pattern of to solve the interrogative statement. Okay students, today we discussed about the future continuous tense, which we can call the progressive tense. If we compare the future continuous tense with the very simple future, then for the simple future we have to use the helping verb ga, gi, ge. But if we talk about the future continuous, which means that something is still going on, something is happening but in an upcoming time. So these are the three categories of each tense. Affirmative we discussed negative and the interrogative. Affirmative, the first thing is the recognition and the identification, which one is a raha hoga, rahi hogi. Second thing is the helping verb, then we will add the will be or shall be. Will be we will use the subjective word singular he, she, it, and the plural subjective words, but for the shall we have to use shall with the I or we. And the structure remains same, subject, verb and the object, but the use of the ing, which one is the first form and the present participle, and the last one is the formation. Then the second part is the negative just to recognize whether we are doing a negative or affirmative, just to put the not, just to add the not very after the helping verb will be or shall be. Then we will not write will be not. We have to write will not be, shall not be. But if we talk about the interrogative, these are the two types of interrogative. Which one is the first one, WH family, and the other one is a helping verb at the very beginning of the sentence, and we have to put at the very start of our sentence, and just to write, just to mention the helping verb, and we will not write the will be, shall be together at the beginning of our statement. We just to write will, then put the subject, then to add the be. If we are dealing the questioning statement क्यों क्या कैसे, just to highlight क्यों क्या कैसे, why, where, then to add the helping verb and put the subject and at the end use of the present participle and the object. This one is a future continuous tense, you can call the progressive tense. This one is your statement is that your assignment is that you have to write the 10 sentence for each part, 10 for affirmative, 10 for negative, 10 for interrogative for the future continuous tense. Thank you.